I live here in Chicago because I prefer living here because I'm close to home. But I've been traveling quite a bit. I just got back from Mexico and Key West on trips for bookings. It's great. I mean, I'm having fun, and I also was in school for part of the time, 2 years, while I was modeling.
Where'd you discover her?
Well, she was actually discovered by my partner, Jane Stewart, from Elite here in Chicago, and entered into our Look of the Year contest, where she was one of the finalists, and that's how we started our relationship.
Cindy Crawford recently spoke out about her experience on the Oprah Winfrey Show, highlighting a moment that she now views as inappropriate. During a 1986 appearance when she was still a young model, Oprah asked Crawford to stand up and show off her body, commenting on her physique in a manner that Crawford now sees as objectifying.
Stand up just a moment, because no one saw you come in standing up. Now, this is what I call a body. Very good, very good.
But I don't weigh 100 pounds. I'll tell that lady on the phone that I do not weigh 100 pounds.
Are you about 5'9", 5'10"?
5'9", and I try to stay around 120.
Okay.
So.
I'm happy for you.
Then,
what's your major?
Well, I was in engineering at Northwestern. And, you know, high school was always my big thing, and this definitely, you can't do both 100%.
So this is not a lifetime dream for you to be a model?
It's not something that I grew up wanting to do, but I've decided now that school can wait, and having a great time.
These girls are saying, you bet it can.
Well,
so you're having a hard time getting her to Paris?
Yes, I mean,
I went once.
not so much now. You know, I think that we've been patient, and it's been paying, because little by little her ambition is growing. I think she's getting a sense that she could be, and I'm saying it now on this program, if she wants to, she can be maybe the #1 in the business.
Cindy Crawford is an iconic American supermodel, actress, and businesswoman, known for her timeless beauty and signature mole above her lip. Rising to fame in the 1980s and 1990s, she became one of the most recognized faces in the fashion industry, gracing the covers of hundreds of magazines, including Vogue, Elle, and Harper's Bazaar. Beyond modeling, Crawford has successfully ventured into television, fitness, and skincare with her beauty brand, Meaningful Beauty.
To have this body? Stand up just a moment. Now, this is what I call a body.
When you look at it through today's eyes, when Oprah's like, stand up and show me your body, like, show us why you're worthy of being here. In the moment, I didn't recognize it. Only when I look back at it and I was like, oh my gosh. That was so not okay, really, especially from Oprah.
The incident has resurfaced in discussions about the ways media figures, including Oprah, have treated young talent on their platforms. Crawford's reflection has sparked a broader conversation about the pressures and scrutiny faced by models and celebrities, especially from influential media personalities.
Recently, Cindy Crawford called out Oprah for treating her like an object on her show, having her show off her body at the age of 20, which just kind of speaks to where we were as society at this time.
Oprah Winfrey has faced criticism over the years for how she handled interviews with various celebrities on her show, often accused of making comments that were deemed disrespectful or overly invasive. Critics argue that Oprah sometimes crossed the line between probing questions and personal attacks, leaving some guests feeling uncomfortable.
I'm so glad the internet is waking up about this long forehead velociraptor looking ass bitch. I am so tired of Oprah, I really am. All these people in the world got a problem with you and you think you ain't the problem. Even Taraji. I mean, come on. Nobody becomes a billionaire by being ethical, baby. I'm just saying, nobody becomes a billionaire by being ethical. So me seeing Oprah get dragged, I'm like, ooh, hit her again. Ooh, hit her again. Hit her again. Especially how she did them people in Maui talking about, I'm gonna pray for you while you got all them acres of land. Get the land away, baby. Faith without works is dead. Prayer without works is dead. Give the land back, baby. So anyway, it's been nice seeing the internet drag Oprah. I know MoNique is so happy that the internet is finally waking up about Oprah. Like, she gives me the worst vibes ever. And the first red flag was that billionaire shit. That was the first red flag for me. But then she kept having issues with people, and people kept talking about their issues with her, and I'm just like, ooh, you a real nasty type of woman.
These instances have sparked debates about the power dynamics between celebrities and media moguls, with some suggesting that Oprah used her platform to demean rather than uplift her guests, leading to a re-evaluation of how such interactions should be handled in media.
This ventriloquist face billionaire hag is a villain that y'all think Wendy Williams is, and it's time to wake it up. Let's start with the fact that she literally interviewed MoNique's brother, who molested her as a child, gave him a platform. During the 2007 Color Purple premiere in Chicago, she invited R. Kelly to the red carpet, allegedly. She has a long history of being friends with abusers like Harvey Weinstein and Russell Simmons. She's part of the billionaire Maui land grab. She's purchased over 870 acres of land in Maui. Meanwhile, the residents live in poverty. In fact, 52% of residents in Maui County, like people from the area, live below the federal poverty line. When the fires did happen, she offered thoughts and prayers. She didn't offer none of that land, though. She is a billionaire, so you know she'd be participating in unfair labor practices. Let's look at the Color Purple, for example. No food originally, no trailers, no rides to and from set, which Taraji is like, this is an insurance liability, on top of low compensation for a cast that was a beautiful ensemble of African-American actors. Really, Oprah? For years, Oprah has gotten away with these behaviors under the guise of Black excellence. Oh my God, she had a rags to riches story. Yeah, she came from rags to riches and now she's exploiting bitches. Like, come on now. And honestly,
Oprah's interview with Michael Jackson, where she questioned his skin tone changes and his multiple surgeries, is often cited as one of the more controversial moments of her career. Critics argue that Oprah's line of questioning was disrespectful, intruding into deeply personal aspects of Jackson's life, including his struggle with vitiligo, a skin condition that lightens the skin.
What you have done or are doing, are you bleaching your skin? And is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Okay, number one, as I know of, there is no such thing as skin bleaching. I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they used to have those products growing up. I used to hear, always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons to...
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. Is something that I cannot help. Okay, but when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
So it is.
It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it, okay? But what about all the millions of people who sit out in the sun to become darker, to become other than what they are? Nobody says nothing about that.
So when did this start? When did the color of your skin start to change?
Oh boy, sometime after Thriller. Around Off the Wall, Thriller. Sometime
and what did you think? I mean,
it's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad. I don't want to go into my medical history because that's something that's private, but that's the situation here. So please, when people see something like that.
I just want to get this straight. Yeah. You are not taking anything to change the color of your skin.
Oh God, no.
You did not purposely.
We're trying to control it, and using makeup evens it out because it makes blotches on the skin, and I have to even out my skin. But you know what's funny? Why is that so important? You know, that's not important to me.
MoNique, the Oscar-winning actress and comedian, has publicly spoken out against Oprah Winfrey, accusing her of betrayal and disrespect. MoNique claims that Oprah invited her family, including her estranged brother who allegedly harmed her, onto her show without her consent, leading to further emotional distress. This incident fueled MoNique's broader criticisms of Oprah, which include accusations of unfair treatment and hypocrisy.
I'm really not gonna lie to y'all, I don't like Miss Oprah Winfrey. There are so many reasons why I don't like Oprah, and all of them have to do with her just being simply an asshole, in my opinion. Now, one of her biggest strikes was with MoNique. That's when I really felt like, okay, Oprah is just almost like a wicked witch. MoNique explained several times when she did Precious, she didn't know if it was going to pick up or not, but she got $50K from it, and it was an independent film with her good friend Lee Daniels. Once the film started getting praise, Tyler Perry and Oprah decided, like, let me put my name attached to it and let's do a press conference. MoNique was like, look, I have kids, I have little babies, and I have a husband. I've done my part. I'm not really into doing any press conferences. Oprah kept pushing, saying, oh, you know what? I'm going to send my private jet. She sent Tyler Perry her way. And literally, all this woman said was, no, I'm tired. I want to nurture my family. I nurtured my career. You know, I hope it continues to do good, but I don't want to be on press tours and conferences, or at least the one that they asked for. Oprah honestly felt like, you know what? She tried it. So Oprah, I feel like, in my opinion, began to taunt her. When MoNique blew up, somehow her brother's story, when he touched her or did something really, egregious towards MoNique, ended up on her show. MoNique, of course, was not happy about it. She thought Oprah was cool with her, like, we're here, we're girls. Not only did Oprah not tell her that her brother was going to be on the show and they were going to be talking about her, but her parents were on the show too, and MoNique blew her mind. Like, she couldn't believe it.
Oprah Winfrey's Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, founded in 2007, was intended to provide educational opportunities for underprivileged girls. However, the academy was later marred by scandal when allegations surfaced regarding misconduct and misuse by staff members.
Oprah Winfrey has had a lot of controversy around her African school for girls, with huge conspiracy theories starting that these girls were going missing from Oprah's school. All of these theories started shortly after Oprah opened her school in 2007, and the matriarch of that school was charged with essay of 7 different girls. Oprah ended up offering a public apology to the parents and the children and citing her own essay incidents in this apology. But the matriarch would then be found not guilty of these crimes. But then it shocked the nation because shortly after this, Oprah's school was hit with another essay allegation. 7 students were suspended for harassing and fondling classmates. And the rumors started swirling after this point because they just didn't understand how these things could happen so close to one another. And then boom, there was another investigation at Oprah's school after the body of a newborn was found in a girl's book bag. And a lot of people were freaking out about this because they're like, boom, we have 2 essay allegations and now all of a sudden a young girl has a baby in her book bag. Everyone found these incidents super alarming, and it's still something talked about to this day. Now, we cannot confirm if any of these girls from this school ended up going missing because I can't find anything about that, but that is a huge conspiracy theory that's been passed around for a couple years. SA allegations and this baby being found in the little girl's book bag are 3 things that actually happened at Oprah's school. And a lot of people find this super creepy, knowing who Oprah surrounds herself with and the background that Oprah has always claimed about herself going through SA as a young girl. So there's a whole bunch of controversy around Oprah, but you guys let me know what you guys think of this 3-part series in the comments.
In 2006, Oprah interviewed comedian Dave Chappelle following his abrupt departure from his successful show, Chappelle's Show. During the interview, Oprah questioned his mental health and decision-making, which some perceived as condescending and dismissive of Chappelle's explanations about the pressures of fame.
So everybody's speaking on how Oprah Winfrey was allegedly arrested in Switzerland and that she had over $100 million on her at the time. And honestly, it's kind of very skeptical because anytime there's a scandal with a celebrity or somebody of high power, her name is always somewhere linked in between it. Regarding Jeffrey Epstein and other people as well. There was even a video with Dave Chappelle when Oprah Winfrey had actually asked him why he turned down a $50 million deal. And this is what he said. Watch and pay attention to everything.
Reference. I've been in show business since I was 14. And I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay. When you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see before, look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time in their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of?
No. Not exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I felt like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress because, when you're a guy that generates money,
yeah,
people have a vested interest in controlling.
Further on in that video, you could tell that he was actually making reference to how after people make those deals, they have to do embarrassment rituals or something erratic happened. And Oprah was actually playing very coy to the situation. Not to mention, if we actually bring up the school that she had in South Africa, it was stated allegedly that the girls, and it was an all-girls school, some of them were missing and others were found pregnant. And there were reports that there was alleged abuse there.
In a widely circulated rumor, it was alleged that Oprah Winfrey was caught attempting to transfer $100 million while in Switzerland. The story, however, lacks credible evidence and appears to be part of a broader set of conspiracy theories surrounding high-profile individuals and their finances.
No. Oprah, where the hell are you going?
So the internet has been blowing up with rumors about Oprah Winfrey being on the run to Switzerland with $100 million because the Epstein lists are about to be released. But the rumors of Oprah's involvement with Epstein and his trafficking, they're not new. They've been happening for literal years, and the media has adamantly denied every single one of them. There have been rumors that she was a client. There have been rumors that she was involved in the trafficking itself. There were also rumors that she was arrested and was somehow on the down low on house arrest, but they weren't telling anybody about it. But none of these media outlets have ever denied that she was involved. They've just denied that she was arrested for it. I also just think that people have a general distrust of Oprah at this point. There were rumors floating around that she knew ahead of time that the Maui fires were going to happen, and she had a whole firefighting crew at her property there, mainly because she refused to let any of the refugees stay on her property, which was completely unharmed. And even though I haven't seen anything that I would consider as proof that she was involved with Epstein, where there's smoke, there's usually fire, so I wouldn't be surprised. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Oprah Winfrey's past friendship with Joan Teixeira de Faria, known as John of God, has also drawn criticism. John of God was once celebrated as a spiritual healer and appeared on Oprah's show, gaining international fame. However, he was later convicted of multiple charges, including allegations of misconduct and exploitation.
Oprah's former faith healer, known as John the God, was sentenced to an additional 99 years. Back in 2018, several women came forward. And he still to this day denies all the allegations, but let's see what this man has done. Guilty for SAing and abusing over 600 women and young... I can't even read this. He also ran a baby trafficking operation where newborn children were sold to childless couples. It is reported that these girls were held captive in Brazilian farms where they were forced to produce babies before being unalived after 10 years of giving birth.
Critics argue that Oprah's association with John of God reflects poorly on her, although she later distanced herself from him after the accusations came to light. This controversy has fueled criticism of Oprah's choices in promoting certain figures without thorough scrutiny of their backgrounds.
An activist said there were women from Europe, the USA, and Australia who bought Brazilian babies for as much as $50,000. I get goosey bumps, and not the good kind of goosebump chills when I read things like that, because a lot of the comments under the section on Twitter are saying, she knew. And how do you think she became so untouchable and so rich? What do you guys think?
Oprah Winfrey has faced backlash for controversial statements made on her show and in public discussions, particularly those touching on sensitive topics like molestation. In one interview, Oprah discussed the complexities surrounding such experiences, which some perceived as attempting to rationalize the actions.
So this is what so many people don't understand. A big part of the confusion and shame for child victims is that the attention and the seduction from the predator, who is probably going to be somebody you know.
Right.
In order for it to work, it has to be somebody you know, somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good.
Right.
even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good.
And that was such a particularly challenging part for me in beginning therapy. That was one of the biggest things I kept bringing to therapy was, what does it mean that it felt good? What does that mean about me?
That's one of the reasons it's so confusing,
you know?
for children.
Yeah.
And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happened. You will be in it and you won't even know it's happened. And if the abuser is any good, he or she is going to make you feel like you're a part of it. I mean, and nothing is more being a part of it than what we discussed earlier.
Discussions on platforms like the Joe Rogan Experience have drawn parallels between allegations surrounding Oprah Winfrey and those faced by Jeffrey Epstein, particularly concerning the misuse of power by influential individuals.
I love Oprah, don't get me wrong. I think she's a wonderful woman. I think she's a powerful force of good and positive energy.
But you ain't no Elon.
But she also brought us Dr. Oz and The Secret. We have to remember what this lady has done.
She has to be held accountable.
I forgive her, but I mean, cut the shit. The Secret is a particularly egregious offense.
What, you don't believe?
You don't believe? Believe?
These conversations highlight the broader issue of how prominent figures are often shielded from legal repercussions, sparking debates about privilege and accountability.
Most of the things that I've learned over time is that almost all like truly exceptional and mentally strong people have been through hell. It's very few that put themselves through hell when life is great.
A recurring theme in discussions about Oprah Winfrey and other powerful figures is how easily they seem to escape legal consequences for alleged wrongdoings. Critics argue that wealth, influence, and status create a protective shield, allowing them to navigate accusations without the same level of accountability faced by the average person.
I got passed by Oprah. Oprah has a house in Montecito. I passed by the house like, that is a ridiculous house for a person. It's like a giant lawn, $50 million house, a huge estate. It's a castle. She's a queen. You know, you don't want that. Like her. You know, my house is $250,000. What the f is she doing with that 50 million? And that's not even a house she lives in. She just visits that like once a year. Takes a shit there, has someone cook for her, takes a nap, gets up,
stirs an animosity.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.